You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. I just wanna be her, for your mom to your pops to the beat to the bird, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. No, I said you don't want. Yeah, I been so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Set. Like 80. 45. Ready.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, here's Newton. And that is is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Let's go. Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, first and 10 at their own 13.
Let's convert. Check tight.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 18. The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
Check. Wait. Easy. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Winston now. It's caught by Mike Evans. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Mike, ready. Black, we do that. Heavy on the edges. Check one. Even. Let's go.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
Green, come and see. Easy. Us. Big stop, let's go. Let's keep bringing it. Stay in there.
On second and 11 now. Winston. And this is caught by Evans. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Now Winston. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense, and that fell harmlessly to the ground. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, Winston. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off. just as we saw there.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
A gain of 3, second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Gun.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end.
On 2nd and 7, Newton. Open man is Samuel. Complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Set. When it ain't.
Check mark 45. Don't get nervous.
Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And it's caught. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
That's the score. Panthers 7, Buccaneers 0.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Looking downfield. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
We want it. Come to
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Got a man, it's right. Past the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. Jarius Wright, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jameis to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the return will stop right around the 25. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll run with McCaffrey, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, nothing.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Ready? Black 25. Quit talking about it. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Let's go right here. Let's go.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And the Buccaneer 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Let's go. Bring it, Triple C. Let's bring it. Mike's 59. Mike. Henry. Oh, here we go.
To the air again with Winston. Oh, he's thinking end zone for Evans. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Winston finds his man. Watson over the middle. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Give him 32 on the play.
First down, Buccaneers.
From the red zone now, Winston under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Brian Burns, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw is Winston. 17. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Gay's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
This is McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him playing very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Graham Gano on for the field goal.
And I think Gano missed it. He did. He missed it off to the right. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on fourth down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
59 mark, 59 mark. Check, 59.
Winston now to throw on first down. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. To throw, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, a ball may come your way.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Winston. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Winston. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is taken at the 23. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
20.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They're going to run the sweep. It's Samuel, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Coming to you. Coming to you. Eddie.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Got his target, Samuel. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A gain of 37. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Winston, he completes it to Evans. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Winston. He hits his target, left side, Watson. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Check, 59. I got it. Mike's 59. Let's go.
Winston now from the 50. Dancing to his left. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the 1st down with his legs. On 1st and 10, Winston steps away to his left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And Watson has it right side. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Here's Winston. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Now Winston on 4th down. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2, and he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Gun.
On 1st and 10, Newton. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now it's Newton. Got his man, it's Eifert. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the pick. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. T.J. Yeldon, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Gano for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points.
Makes the score Panthers 31, Buccaneers 10.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Winston now. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the short catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Eluding the pressure right. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 30. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
It's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 1.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Open man is Samuel, complete. Touchdown, Carolina! Curtis Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Panthers offense cashes in with 6. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. He's going to let it fly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Dante Jackson picks it. And a return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 34.
So this one is over. A victory for Carolina.